Wow, 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 wow. Hi friends, the camera is not straight. Oh, not that one. This one. You straighter. Hello friends, Lina here. We've been working on this bed for about a month now, and I know it's been a long time. Because I work during the days and my weekends are very busy with going places and getting our stuff back together and actually working on the house and doing everything else, I've been trying to do this in the evenings after I finish work, but it gets dark at 7 already these times. And this place is filled with glass. Each evening I come out and I do a little bit of work until it gets dark and I can't see anything anymore. And I come back the next day. I get about this much done per evening, per 2 hours. Like I can get that much strip. But this bed's getting wider, so the strip is slowly getting smaller and smaller. What I can do every night. What I'm doing is basically I am digging out about that deep and I'm sifting the soil. And what I get is a lot of little pieces of ceramic, like you know those blue plates that have been glazed with the blue patterns and things like that. Thousands of little shards of those, and they're all slightly different, so they're not from the same plate, so the patterns don't match and things like that. Loads of glass, loads of rubble, bricks, little pebbles, like shingles and little tiles from the slate tiles, from roofing tiles. Seriously, there's just so much stuff to do. And then during the daytime I come back and come past and just to look at the sifted pile, and I keep finding little pieces of glass in there as well. So I will always have to wear gloves when I'm weeding here and be very, very careful when I do that. Let's stop talking. Let's start sifting. All of my roots. Non-organics. So all of the bits of rubble that comes out. And then my glass. It got wet a couple of times, so now it's not very pretty. But we do have a couple of really cool pieces. For example, this amazing blue. I wonder what it used to be. It has like an S or 65. It's 65 that's written on it. And some of the glass is like really, really thick. I don't know what these used to be. Maybe a bottom of the glass, but it's really thick. Larger pieces, smaller pieces. Seriously, I have so much glass in here. Yeah, I don't want to leave it in. Let's crack on. While I was doing this, I dug underneath the bricks that I'm sitting on, and there was no foundation, by the way. It's the bricks are laid straight onto soil, and you can literally go underneath. I found a lot of glass underneath it as well, so I think it has been where the glass is coming from. You know when new builds are built, new houses in UK, all of the builders pretty much put all of the rubble on the bottom and in the gardens, and then they put turf on top, and then all of that stuff is just coming up, like packets of crisps, glass, bits of cement. It feels like this has been the same way, that it has been a waste yard, a place where you just put your broken bits and then they put the building on top without foundation, which is normal, I guess. I don't know. That makes me wonder if our little cottage actually has foundations, because it's sagging, the floor is sagging in one corner. I don't know. Did they put foundations in 1700s? Did they? Do you know? Let me know. Here I was playing a game of how many pieces of glass can I find in about 45 by 45 centimeters space. And the answer is 10 pieces of glass.
just on top of the soil, not counting how much is in the soil still as well. And then there was little pieces of ceramic, and someone's planted snowdrops as well on top of all of that glass, well, in that glass, and I have no idea how they managed to dig in to plant the bulbs and not pick out the glass. I mean, wouldn't that be the first thing you would do? Pick the glass when you are planting something so you don't cut yourself? I dealt with every single pan of soil the same way. First, you pull out all of the organic matter, then you pull out all of the glass because I want to weigh it. Then all of the bulbs that are there because there were so many bulbs. I need to plant them again back. And then all of the else bits go into the rubble and then go away into the bags to be put in the skip. I weighed all of the glass in the end and it came to 4.2 kilos of just pure glass. I had about 10 or 20 bags of... I started putting them in a massive pile in the end, all of the rubble, because I just couldn't... I ran out of bags. I didn't have enough bags. And because there are those heavy duty sacks and they're expensive, and if we are hiring a skip after the New Year's, I can just shovel it into a bucket and then put it in the skip, right? I don't need to put them in the bags and then from the bags potentially into the skip. Yeah. My shoulders do not appreciate all of this sifting. I need to think about any other methods of how to sift soil that's not manual, because my back was hurting and my shoulders were on fire. I am not that young anymore. I can't do this. Unfortunately. I thought I could.
You're gonna be with me until it gets really, really dark and we can't see anything, so you can see how much actually is, how much far I get. I'm hoping to get to the pole tonight, like, so all of this, wow, to do all of that. Hopefully, my fingers crossed. Yay! When I was talking about the ceramic, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Tiny little pieces of it everywhere. Once I have sifted the soil out, it turns into this most amazing list. Like, seriously, it is so nice looking and so fluffy. Look at that! Isn't that like the best soil ever? I'll sift it all, I'll deal with it, and then when we are done, I will cover it with mulch because this soil needs to be protected and sorted.
I got myself a little spadey thing that can scoop the soil into the sifting net, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. I was literally scooping with my hands all of the time and it would take forever to just scoop the net full. The sieve, that's the word. To scoop the sieve full, it would take forever. And now it just took like 3 or 4 scoops and then it's fine and it's full and I can sift it. Now that it helped me with all of the roots, because the trees have grown into all of this as well. I had to cut a lot of the tree roots out and I hope that they will come back, because trees are good for the soil and they create symbiotic relationships with all of the plants, and the tree roots don't usually go that deep either. So hopefully they come back, and I think they will. But I just needed to do this initial scoopy slash sifting thing to get everything out. On the other note, the soil is amazing here. What you think? Is it amazing? It's just so rich. I was doing the squeeze test, and it squeezes and it holds its shape. But when I was doing it, the test, the soil was completely dry. So I think when it's wet, it probably would like do the test a lot better than it did now. As you can see, this is not going very fast. It takes forever to make the soil softer, then scoop it all in, then sift it all, then do it all again for the next lot. This is about 3 hours of work in here. Yeah.
I have done only half a row, but I'm gonna go inside. I am tired, I am hot. I don't know if you can see it, but the moon's rising. He's just about there. My background is not in focus. That's the one. It is very dark already. I can barely see. It doesn't show a lot like that on the camera. On camera it looks normal actually. It looks bright, but it is not. No, it is not. It is so big. The moon is so large. Okay, I need to get my stuff and go inside. It's kind of scary. See, it's dark. It doesn't look dark here on the camera. That's so annoying. Because it's very, very darkish. I shall speak with you when I probably another couple of meters closer to the edge. Yeah? So let's meet again when I'm by this pole, okay? Yeah? See ya! It's probably gonna be like a week and a half until I get there. It's not the camera. I know everything looks blurry, but it is because there's such a thick fog today. Wow. I'm drying some clothes, don't mind me. They were almost dry yesterday evening, but because of the fog now they're completely wet again. Yay! They're staying outside one more day. My neighbor is walking her dogs, so I will stop filming for now. I've been working on this flower bed for the last month, I think, coming out every day, but I found a wall. I think it is the old boundary wall. That's probably not mine, but I will still process it and sift it and everything else because there's a lot of glass in it. So much glass. That's the boundary wall because I think that pole just there is the boundary, and then the tree is planted on it as well. Today's Sunday and I really need to start working on it. My friends, the sheep, are gonna be with me, and hopefully we can finish this last bit. So I have half here, well, 1/3 of the beam left here to do, and then a full segment there. I'm going to that pole, so it's not that far. Yesterday I was basically here, and this took me 4 hours. So see how much it's gonna take me today. My breath is fogging. I can't tell you how pretty this is. There's fog everywhere. It's lifting now. I had a cup of tea and breakfast, and it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning and it's still really foggy.
Have I told you guys that I really, really love being outside in the fog? It makes me feel like I'm alone, but not alone at the same time. And it's just such a nice feeling of being like in your own little bubble. And apparently, where we have moved, if it's foggy a lot in autumns and in the springs, which is gonna be great for me. Yay! This is the fire pit that used to be here. It has a lot of metal bits, plastic bits, and paper, and lots of ash, which I think is going to be good for the garden. And I'm just sifting it back into the soil here. You can see all of the tree roots as well. Poor tree. I am so sad that I had to cut it a little bit. The fire pit was half on the bricks and half on the edging, because they had built it, the previous owners had built it just underneath a tree, didn't care about what's underneath or anything, and then just, I think they just burned a lot. There are 3 or 4 more fire pits around the property everywhere.
It's been 2 hours. I've been working on all of this, and guess what? The fog hasn't lifted. It is 11 o'clock. Wait, let me just check. It's 11:30 in the middle of the day, and we still have fog. Isn't that super cool? There are sheep there. They came all the way close to me here to look what I was doing, and now they have just wandered off. I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of in there, in the fog, disappearing slowly. I can see the end of it. Almost. We're almost one side, almost there. Maybe I will be able to finish it by tomorrow. I have tomorrow off, so yay! It feels like I'm alone in here with just the fog and no one around. It's super cool. I love it. I'm listening to horror stories as well as I'm doing this in the fog, which is great. There are different plants here. I'm gonna ask you again if you know what these plants are, because I don't know. It looks like campanula a little bit, but it doesn't clump. It has like a weird stemmy thing. Yeah, I have potted it again. Sounds like someone's screaming in the fog. And because I can't see, I feel like someone's being tortured. Give me another 12 hours or so to work on this. I need to do it because do you see how many leaves are starting to fall down? I want to have this planted by the time the big fall comes and everything falls down. Because the leaves are... I don't know if you can see it, but they're floating around. Day number eternity +1 working on this thing. I worked yesterday all day. I mean, I started at 9 in the morning and I finished at 6, and I don't have much to show for it except that I have gotten to the end and I have uncovered a lot of tree roots. The wool is disappearing underneath the tree like I suspected, so that is probably the boundary wall. It's been raining all morning. I felt really ill yesterday afternoon, well, in the evening when I finished this, and I still haven't recovered. I think I exerted myself too much. It was 10 degrees Celsius yesterday all day, so I think I froze myself to bits. I went to bed at about 10, and I remember waking up at 2 o'clock feeling that I have warmed myself up at last and that I was cozy. For the wool, this is from yesterday. The leaves are just falling like crazy. I think there's about another 4 hours of work here. until we can finish it off, and then I will be done. Yay! I am super excited because I need to do this only once in my life. Because after that, I'm gonna be using the no dig method of dealing with this flower bed slash bed. I do not ever want to dig it again. I have started thinking of gardening as, instead of gardening for plants, I have started thinking that I'm gardening the soil. So I'm making the soil the best it can be, and then that takes care of all of the plants I'm putting in. On another note, the lime tree that's in the corner of my garden just there has gone yellow in the last 2 days. It was not yellow. Seriously, it was not yellow 2 days or 3 days ago. I remember looking at it and going like, oh, it's still keeping its color, and suddenly it's like, we're going. Autumn's here. Autumn's done. we're doing our thing. Let's crack on with this and see how fast I can get this done, because I don't want to be out here for too long. This is so cool. Seriously.
I always get super excited about the last bits of the journey, and just as I am about to finish a project, this is not an exception. I was super excited about it because I have been working on this bit for about a month now, and I don't ever want to do such a big job ever again in one video, because the editing alone has taken me thus far 10 hours, because I have been talking about the same things again and again and again in each time I pick up the camera, and then it's not very enjoyable for the video, right? So I have had to go around and cut down a lot of video that I have that's been basically duplicated or triplicated or quadruplicated. The words are getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, I don't want to do that again. Anyways, the one good thing was that the closer I got to the tree, the less debris and glass there was, as if they didn't dump anything underneath the tree for a long time. But there were more tree roots. So that's that. Does it count that if I'm processing the soil from opposite side of the wall, does it count as stealing from my neighbor? Or does it count as taking care of the property? Because the previous owners still have dumped things here. I have noticed that there's a glass behind the fence as well, so I will go and pick it up one day, because my neighbor has sheep in there and I don't want them to cut their feet or anything, and they have little lambies, probably in the spring. Lambs. They will have lambs in the spring. Oh, talking hard, I don't know. I'm super happy to have such quiet neighbors as sheep. They are not very loud and they just stare at you from time to time. And that's it, right?
It has been 4 hours of work. And guess what? We are done. I'm so happy. At last. I think this bed and sifting the soil and getting all of the glass and debris out of it has taken me over probably 100 hours altogether, because it just adds up. Like yesterday I worked 8 hours on it and I got like 3 meters on one side. So yeah, if we just continue on, there's more and more and more, and we're almost crashing into the tree. But it's massive. I'm so happy it's done at last. Yay! I'm very exhausted. I'm gonna go inside, have a cup of tea, sit down. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I think it's because of the motions of like putting things into the sifter and then sifting it from side to side. It's kind of giving me a seasickness kind of feeling. Do you like the wall? I love the wall. It's so cool. That's probably my boundary. I wonder now if, because it goes underneath this tree and it continues on, that it could potentially go around all of the garden. Well, that would be fun, isn't it? Except that there's been trees planted on it, so it's probably cracked. And looks like it's been dry stacked wall as well, because there's no cement in between, it's just blocks stacked in specific ways. What would you do with it? Would you keep it uncovered? The problem is that the bed, see, eating my hair. Blah, blah. The problem with this wall is it is a lot lower than even the foundation. Someone's taken all of the stones away and lowered the height of it to probably foundation height of the wall that it was there. So if I keep it like this, all of the debris will eventually end up in there. For example, all of the leaves will settle on it and it'll be hard to keep it clean. Or do I bury it back and leave it for the next generation to find after I'm gone? Just plant the plants around and on top, and I will know that it's there, and where I am not gonna have much hydration because the roots can't penetrate very deeply in there. It's just they're gonna get stuck. Do I just cover it up and just have a massive bed that looks really nice, and then I can plant my plants in there? Do I build it up a bit more with more bricks and have like alpine garden, considering that alpine gardens probably need mostly sunshine, but all I have here is dappled shade, and that's on a good day. It's mostly shade, it's pretty much just shade. I expect the moss to grow here a lot. I also have found like loads and loads of pottery bits. This one I think is the coolest. They remind me of daffodils when they have gone into bloom, like poof. And then of course we have the normal ones, like these. Loads and loads of different patterns. With this one, I am kind of lucky because I found this in one spot and I found this in the other spot, like a meter away. And then I was like, wait a minute, I have seen that pattern before. It just fell. It's hard to do this with gloves on. It's from the same plate, it's the same pattern, it's the same cut. It fits. And I found them a meter apart. There's some green one as well. Have you ever seen a green one? I have never seen a green one before, which is awesome. I really wish that I could see how these plates or bowls or whatever it was looked when they were whole and not damaged. I also found this really cool stone. With a hole in it, so you can hang it. Do I paint it and hang it somewhere? What would you do with it? Because it is a really cool stone. I have never seen a stone like this before. It's awesome. Awesomest stone ever. And then the last thing I found, well, there's a couple more things that I have found, is that's a rib from something quite large. Humans don't have ribs that big. I think it's a cow. And then this massive bone as well. And there's quite a lot of bones around. Not such large ones. These just small bones. But this one was big. So I was thinking, this with this. I know it doesn't go together, but it looks like we used to have a cow here. And just to show you how long this has all been here, this is the tree root from this tree. and it's grown into a slate tile. It's unmovable. It's completely grown in, as you can see. Reminds me of a little axe. You know, like nature's made axe, because it is not moving. Pulled it out! No! Ooh! Look at that! Can I put it back? I can! That is so cool, isn't it? Things like that. I am super happy how it's all turned out. I'm gonna go inside, have my cup of tea that I have earned, and then I am gonna probably start on the planting plans that I have here. This is a large bed. It's about 10 meters long, and this thick end it's about 2 meters wide, and in the other end where it's like shorter, dinner it's about 90 centimeters long, wide. So there's a lot of space to plant stuff. I can't wait. I'll see you next time. Bye friends. Thank you for watching.